I'll tell you what, if you're raising kids in this day and age, you got to think about things that our parents and our grandparents never had to think about.
What's happening online? If you don't know, how can you protect your kids? It is a 21st century quandary.
And Amy Konwinski is on a mission to educate 300 parents this month. Good morning, Amy. How are you?
Hi, it's nice to have you here.
That's a tall order, 300 parents, right?
Yeah, 300 parents. We're trying to educate Omaha, one parent at a time.
That's good. And this is called, the concept is Smart March. Explain what the concept is. How does this work?
So we are trying to make sure that parents are intentional on the social media that they allow their children to have, and especially the technology. So we set our sights at 300 parents, thinking that this would be great, that we can educate one parent and then they can tell their friends and they can continue to go on. So we have these workshops that we tell parents exactly what's going on in social media and how technology is affecting their iGen children.
We have a workshop coming up this month. Still, we'll make sure that you get the information about that if you'd like to attend it. What is the importance, though, generally, and I think it's probably obvious to a lot of people, but for the parents who are like, yeah, it's probably not that big of a deal. I don't need to know everything that's happening online. Why do they?
Right. Well, one of the biggest problems right today, and it's going on in every middle school and high school, is this idea of kind of self-made pornography. So kids are taking their phones. 10 years ago, we told parents not to have computers or televisions in the room, and here we are, we're giving them these smartphones that have a camera, and kids are taking pictures and they're exchanging them within Snapchat and Instagram on these secret Instagram accounts. And it can be really harmful, not only because it's child pornography, but kids can get sextorted, and they can actually get into some really bad, risky behavior and getting them on some tracks that just aren't good. So parents being intentional and knowing what they're doing on their technology is the very first step on making sure your kids don't, do anything harmful to ruin their life.
Yeah, I've got a 13-year-old, so she's kind of delving into this social media. It's like you don't want to ban them from it because you want them to learn about it, to be educated about it. I think she has Instagram. She doesn't do Facebook, doesn't do Twitter, but she does have Instagram, and we have access to it, and we can see all the pictures that she posts.
Perfect.
But what are there threats out there for kids and teens and social media? I guess what is the biggest threat?
Yeah, so right now I love that you're watching what your daughter posts online. I think the biggest threat is when parents let kids have a technology or an application that they don't really know what it is. And just by being involved, all the studies have shown that it takes down the effects of some of that harmful behavior astronomically. So one of the biggest problems is that the sharing. So they think that social media is kind of private. Well, there's no privacy in social media.
That's
social,
why
it's social media,
right?
It's not private media.
Yeah.
So, the fact that kids will trust each other, and it only takes a 20-minute conversation with a girl that she creates an emotional bond with somebody. So one of the hardest things on social media is maybe your daughter starts off on Instagram. Well, she might go over to a texting site that's like WhatsApp or something that's an anonymous texting site. Somebody can make a relationship with her and say, oh, by the way, do you have an Instagram or do you have a Snapchat? And then she creates that relationship, and they say, well, just send me a pic. And she makes kind of a 30-second bad decision, and it can really affect her life in a lot of negative ways.
You've got this workshop coming that we alluded to a moment ago. It's in 3 days, and it's specific to social media. What are you going to cover in that workshop, and how can our viewers be part of it?
Yeah, so they can visit our website, smartgirlstyle.com, and we have been doing these workshops for the last month, and we're going to be continuing them in April and May. But when we show up, we're going to tell them exactly what they need to know about the top applications that kids are using today. So that's Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. What they need to know about controlling those passwords and being intentional on what is on their applications. And really, I tell parents, the average family of 4 spends about $2,000 a year on their cell phone and smartphone devices. What's $25 in 2 hours when you can really protect your family and know what's going on and being intentional.
And we have a special offer for you, and we'll show you that before the end of Amy's visit too, so you can save on that workshop.
Well, and learning about some of these social media platforms like Snapchat, I still have yet to figure this out, because some of my daughter's friends have Snapchat, and I don't know how this thing works.
Right.
So educate us a little bit about Snapchat. What does it do?
Well, so there's some fun parts of social media too, and I think one of the things that my daughters enjoy doing is just taking silly pictures. So they like the selfies, kind of a selfie generation, and taking a silly picture and then sending it to their friends. So most of the time it is very innocent. But now Snapchat has launched something called Snap Cash, and it's actually allowing people to pay for pictures. Well, so people are probably not going to pay for your selfie or even your phone quality picture of, you know, downtown Omaha, but they will pay for pornography. So now that you're opening up an entire area where a girl might be talked to in one application, and they'll say, oh, do you have a Snapcash account? Hey, I'll give you $50 if you send me a picture. So it can get really serious and serious for parents. And because you can't see what they've sent, you know, parents don't know.
You can't protect them.
Well,
if you
that's
don't
can't.
know.
That's going to be aware of that, though.
If you mention the morning blend, so the workshop we were talking about that's coming up this week, you'll save 20% off the fee. That's a savings of $5 when you mention the show. It's on the 24th at 168th and Q. Call to make reservations to be part of it. It's 402-505-3993. But Amy's organization, Smart Girl Style, it's interesting how she is empowering girls, period. Not just educating parents about social media, but really that's one component of a more broad mission from Amy and her team.
Yeah, and we could really dedicate a whole show
We
to
could.
some of these issues, too.
But we'll send you to her website since we can't. We can't give you the whole hour. We'll have you back. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks,
so
Amy.
much.
Really great to meet
Spring
you.
is officially